Question everything, trust nothing, except your boy, CryptoKeeper. Hopefully everybody is doing well today. Super excited about the stream. If y'all saw the thumbnail, you know, it's right up my alley. We got what's going on with the political side of crypto. There's so much happening with where we're at right now versus where we're headed, how the establishment is trying to fight against crypto, what crypto is doing to fight back, what some of the big players internally are thinking and how they're moving and acting. We're going to talk about Robinhood, even though I think it's a trash platform. They're important to talk about. We've got a lot to get into today, and yeah, I'm excited about it. So smash the like if you haven't already. It's your favorite person that you never get a notification for. Maybe that's what I should do the intro as. Like, question everything, trust nothing except for your boy Keeper. Your favorite influencer. I hate that word. Your favorite, how should we do this? Your favorite, what's the word I'm looking for? Your favorite person that YouTube loves to hate. There we go. Question everything, trust nothing, except for your boy Keeper. Your favorite YouTuber that YouTube loves to hate. There we go. Let's jump into the chat. Let's start there. We had some notifications early, about a half an hour early. My man right here. Captain Crypto, as always. Got the DCA mug today, not the Donald Trump one. Let me take a little sip here of my mushroom coffee. It's cold, by the way. Good to see you, bro. I got my coffee ready, or my mushrooms ready, or whatever. Maybe I'll get in trouble for saying that. Who freaking knows? Who else we got in the house? Crypto Boyo, cluck, cluck. Said, man, I don't get notifications on. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's exactly what I'm saying. Patriot Caveman, as always, in the house. Patriot Caveman, shout out to you, bro. I would love to do, I saw in the chat, obviously I responded to you. I would love to do some DCA stuff. We can talk about it. It's really the time commitment right now for me that's the biggest issue. It's nothing more than that. I'd love to do it on Rumble so that I could actually speak my mind, because we're not allowed to over here. You know, the left definitely controls YouTube, so I got to be careful. Gotta tread lightly on what I say. But I would love to do it. We should chat about it some more. I just need to find the time to do it. I've got some big things coming up in the works with Karate Combat, I think. I can't really touch that right now, but there's some stuff that's kind of brewing in the background that I'm looking forward to. I'll get with you guys as soon as I can release that information. A lot happening in some of the personal aspect of what I'm doing in the crypto space that I'm trying to press forward. So there is a lot of good stuff going on for me, and I want to share it with each and every one of you. Speaking of that, let's kick it off with this. I need to know. So I'm just gonna shoot it straight, right? I have not got everybody's information in terms of who was the top of the leaderboard last season for the people that were in the competition. If you are on this show and you're somebody that's dedicated to this show and you like to trade and you want to come on the show, listen, I'm going to get the leaderboard and the leaders from each of the respective teams or whatever, but I don't know that everybody can do it because I've already seen a little bit of that action and there's a couple people that can't do it. If you want to come on the stream, if you want to trade, if you want to live trade against the best, right? Mondays will be influencers. Tuesdays will be the audience. Thursdays will be going to the gulag. One of the people, of the 4 people that get kicked off from Monday and Tuesday, one of those people is going to go against the gulag monster himself, CryptoFace. So if you want to do that, I need you to send me a DM. Either jump into my Telegram group, which I've got linked down below the stream. Send me a message on X. Whatever the way that you can get a hold of me. Probably Telegram is the easiest. It's at the real CryptoKeeper. So not the fake CryptoKeeper. It's the real CryptoKeeper. Okay. At, spelled out, the real CryptoKeeper. Hit me up on Telegram. Please do that because I'm going to need to fill some extra spots there for the audience. So I've got the influencers pretty much worked out. We should be good to go. And I think we're going to start in 2 weeks. I was hoping to start next week, but guys, things take time. Had to change exchanges yet again. But I think I'm finally going to be settled down. So let me go ahead and make that announcement now. Shout out to Fairdesk. I've got a lot of people in my community, in my community of, you know, Crypto Blood, I believe Evan Aldo, Crypto Crow. There's a number of people that works with Fairdesk, and they're like, listen, man, this is where you need to be. This is where you need to go. And so I am taking a step over to work with Fairdesk. They're more of a mainstream exchange. You do not need to KYC. They've been open for years. They've got plenty of liquidity. Apparently, a lot of the little trading glitches that we were running into before that people were getting irritated about are not happening. So shout out to Fairdesk. I will be dropping my link. I'll put it on. I actually should have put it on this stream. I wasn't planning on making that announcement, but you know me. I'm like squirrel, and then I'm like, screw it. Let's just announce it because hey, it's my damn business. So that's what I'm doing. French Toaster in the house. What up, fam? Dude, I love French toast, by the way. Put a 1 in the chat if you love French toast. Do you like French toast or pancakes? I'm a French toast guy, so I like pancakes, but I like French toast. If you give me the option and you say, hey, somebody made some really killer French toast and somebody made some really killer pancakes, I'm going with French toast. I'm just throwing it out there. Okay. French toaster, not a surprise. Puts the 1 in the chat. Put a 2 if you're a pancake guy. I'm definitely Crypto Pollo. You can hit me up on Discord. That's fine. But damn, dude, I hate Discord. I share my Discord underneath the stream, but you guys know if you've been in there, I have not been. I do better on Telegram, but whatever. Hit me up on there, and I'll get you linked up, Crypto Pollo, and get you onto the stream. So again, if you haven't smashed a like, if you haven't followed the stream, if you haven't followed me over on X, it's Crypto Wars with a Z, OG. Make sure to fix that problem, and let's get into it. Hold on a second. I got multi-sig dummy in the house. How's it going? It's going well. It's going well. Who else? Hold on a second. Wick in the house. And won't somebody help Keeper? He got a future so bright he needs shades 20. Bro, you know it. I was like, you know what? It's the future that I see is like blinding. You know what I mean? And I was like, I got to get some fake Louis. Got to get some fake Louis from Colombia. Okay. Can't be anywhere else. Got to get the fake Louis from Colombia or Brazil. I've got some fake Louis from Brazil too that are pretty nice too. But when I got these, I realized, you know, I'm able to go out at crypto events and be inside, you know, an atmosphere of having some fun, maybe, you know, hanging out, whatnot with some of my crypto fam, and I can wear my sunglasses at night. All right. FD White now. FD. Hey, bro, dude, I was looking for you. I couldn't figure out. I think it was on X. I had a message from you, and then all of a sudden, I couldn't see it. FD White's going to be on the stream on Crypto Wars this coming season, as long as he doesn't shut me down like a girl in high school that, you know, well, actually, I never got turned down in high school. Let's be fair. But all right, that probably sounds really pompous. FD White, I'd love to have you on Crypto Wars this next season. I know we've talked about it just briefly, but I'd love to have you. I think I've got one more spot that I need to fill on top of you, just kind of tweaking what that looks like. I've been kind of holding it for somebody, but let's get it, bro. If you want to come in and you want to make this thing happen, let's do it. Let's do it. Multi-sig dummy says, I bought the dip. We're going to talk about the dip today for sure. That has been happening, right? That has been happening. You said, let's get it, bro. All right, FD. Hit me. Actually, dude, hit me up on X or on Telegram, and I'll get you linked up. All right, let's check out the global crypto market caps. Let me get my mouse over to the right stream here. All right, 2.566 trillion with AT dollars. That's down. Yeah, there's red days in crypto. 3.5%. Bitcoin's at 66,548. Man, look at that thing rocketing on the hour. It's up 0.7%, baby. Let's go. ETH, 34.54. God, my portfolio knows when ETH is down. I have a little portfolio app on my phone, which I probably shouldn't do because like it has the majority of like my old portfolio right on my screen. If somebody looks over my shoulder, it's like, damn, this dude's broke. You know what I mean? But you know, I can tell when ETH is down, because it's my largest holding for sure. BNB all the way down to $600. That thing was over $700. It's all the way back down to 600. Guys, these markets get slaughtered when Bitcoin is down, and I don't know what people are scared about. If this thing dumps all the way back down to 52K, like Army Piper is talking about, y'all better be buying this dip. Look across the bottom of the screen. This is entertainment purposes only, not financial advice, but I'm just saying there's going to be a lot of action there. We're talking about political stuff today, so we'll definitely talk about some Tonald. If you are in the Tonald community, smash that one. I want to see who in here right now is in the Tonald community. If you're not, we need to fix that problem, okay? Because this thing, y'all are going to look back and say, wow, Keeper, the poly Keeper, no, I can't say it like that. Politify Keeper. Keeper, the political impact persona in the crypto space, tried to tell me to get into a Politify meme coin at a few $100,000 that went all the way to 11 million, and 11 million is just getting started. It's back down to like 5 point something, but we'll talk about that. That's how meme coins go. We got a lot of big stuff in the chamber coming up. Toncoin, $6.83, up 1.3% on the hour, down 1.2% on the day. Scrolling down through, let's see what else we got going on. Uniswap's up a hair on the hour. It's at a little bit less than $9. Just trying to look at some of the ones I like to check out. ICP just under $10. Caspa down below 16 cents. We were all the way up to 18 cents. And man, my mining activities were feeling that. We need to get back above. I want to see above 25 cents. And well, I want to see a lot higher than that, but let's get us up to 25 cents. I want to see who's on my team there. Let's scroll down and check in on VeChain. Gosh, I got to scroll a lot to get there. What is going on with VeChain? VeChain, fix this problem. Fix this problem. I got people that are getting into VeChain, right? But 3 cents. These are dollar cost average opportunities, right? Opportunities. CryptoPollo says, and this, you know what? This is a good point. The alts are lower now than they were when Bitcoin was 52K. Dude, bro, because let me tell you why. Let me fill you in on something. People are so fickle. They're so fickle. People are so scared. They legitimately, I'm not going to dox him. Well, this wouldn't be doxing him anyway. But I got a buddy. I hope he's listening. Oh, I hope he's listening because this is going to grind his gears. I got a buddy that got into Donald yesterday on the dip at about 5 million. I think it might have got down to 4.3 maybe or something. He's like, bro, I was getting slaughtered and I bailed. And I texted him and I was like, hashtag PUSSY. Bro, what are you doing? Let me just tell everybody and make this really clear right now. None of this financial advice, but I'm going to tell you right now. Let me take down the numbers here. All of the big players as of now, besides the team, are out. There was 3 wallets that dumped $90,000 worth of liquidity, right? That took $90,000 worth of profits off that chart, which is what single-handedly, with three-handedly, just absolutely smoked the chart from 11 mil back down to, a little bit over 5 or where we're at right now. 3 people, okay? Now, the big dogs, other than the team, are gone. And I know what the team is doing. And I know where the team is headed. So, hey, take that for what it's worth. I'm just letting you know that I'm going to definitely point back at this. And I'm going to say, hey, I was telling you guys all the way back at hundreds of thousands. Then I was telling you at 1 million, 2 million. Then I was telling you at 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, 6 million, 7 million. And you guys are going to look back and be like, man, I had a lot of opportunity to jump in and just didn't grab it. So fix it if you're not already. All right. So Patriot Caveman, Caspa's going to $40 because $40. Bro, if Caspa went to $40, bro, I would, I don't know how long you're thinking that, right? But boy, your boy Keeper will be set up. I got to tell you, $40, dude. Hold on. Just because I think that's entertaining, let's go back over here and take a little look-see at something right quick. $40, right? Caspa's at 15. It's at 16 cents. So you need about 6 you need about 6 of them for $1. We're at $3.764 billion. And you're saying I need to go 240x from here. So that would be, dude, that would be almost $1 trillion market cap. Almost $1 trillion market cap. Bro, listen, I'm here for it, right? But being bullish and being, a little bit over the edge is, just a big difference. Enrique said, I'm wondering if he meant 40 cents. No, he didn't mean 40 cents. He definitely didn't mean 40 cents. I love Patriot Caveman. He said, if it's 40, I'm buying an island. I'm buying America. I'm buying the entire United States if Caspa hits. Yeah, that's just like the XRP deal. I don't know if you guys remember this, but on TikTok a while ago, I put out a video that, when people were talking about the $50,000 XRP. I love this light purple, by the way. When they were talking about a $50,000 XRP, I told when I had I think I had 108,000. I think I had 108,000 at that point on TikTok. And I told everybody that I would give them, it was at least 10 grand. And I think it might've been 20 grand. I don't know. It was a big number. I was going to shell off a couple billion because at 50K with the amount of XRP I have, I am a multi-billionaire many times over. Guys, let's be real, right? These numbers are not real life. It's fun to think like that. Just like thinking when you walk into the gas station, if you buy a lottery ticket and you check it that night, you just became multi-millionaire, billionaire, whatever overnight. Just not being, very realistic. And I know you're playing, bro. I totally know you're playing. But it was fun. Like for just a minute there, I felt that. I was like, man, Patriot Caveman, at $40, there's going to be me, whoever the heck else I want to bring with me. I'll bring you with me. We'll kick it on the beach, have an old fashioned, talk about DCA fam, run a stream, just do whatever the heck we want, bro. We'll buy the United States of America. That's right. All right, let's get into it, guys. I am done goofing around. Let's talk about let's take a peek at the crypto bubbles real quick. Oh God, this is a bloodbath, ladies and gentlemen. Anybody green somewhere? Green? Are my glasses tinted, or is the entire crypto bubbles red? Tell me on the stream, do you see anything in green? Hold on. I think, what is this? Maybe this? What the hell is this? Gnosis is up 1.2%. Guys, the bull market is on. If Gnosis is up, the bull market is on. Yeah, look at this. I mean, everything is getting freaking slaughtered. People have been talking about bread a lot. It's down 17%. Notcoin, everybody's been talking about that, obviously, with what's happening over on the Tom network. It's down 18.4%. Jasmy's down 15.6%. Solana's down 9%. Injective's down almost 12%. SHIB's down almost 8%. I mean, guys, this is just the market, right? When you have Bitcoin take a dump, when Bitcoin takes a dump, we see the rest of the market struggle, period, and stop. Let's take a look over at, hold on a second. I knew I forgot to do something. Hold that thought. Make sure I'm on here we go. All right. So let's see so I was talking about this yesterday. Okay. Check it out. I had this trend line rocking, right? From, when was that? Back in, how far back did I pull that? This is on the daily. This is from the start of May. And I was talking about, hey, if we don't hold this trend line here, we've been continuously making higher lows. Let me see here. Are we still making higher lows if I do this? I don't think so, because I think, yeah, I think right here, yeah, we dip back down below and basically touches. At any event, the facts are really simple, right? Bitcoin, bull market, big things happening in the political space, which we're going to talk about today. We are headed up into the right. We just need a nice little correction on the way there, right? That's it. Period. End. Stop. There's nothing more to it than that, guys. This is what needs to happen in these markets to let me get Crusaders thing off there and go over to Keeper. Here we go. To keep us headed in the right direction. ETH took a big dump, right? I circled this area and said, hey, it's going to be important to stay in this range. What did we do? Whoop, down out of that range. Caspa, same thing. Made a nice, huge move to the upside. But what I do like about Caspa is, I mean, look how far back. I mean, we've got a beautiful upward trend there. We look on, we had a heavily oversold or overbought prime oscillator about 7 days ago. That ribbon twist has came down. We'll probably be oversold here shortly at about 15.8 cents. So we're steadily climbing. Guys, let me just tell you, right? Part of crypto is corrections. Part of crypto is corrections, right? Jennifer, welcome. Glad that you're here. It says, my portfolio is down thousands. But yeah, Jennifer, my portfolio is down lots and lots and lots of thousands. I get it. But guess what? That's part of the game, right? And if you got into crypto and thought that the only thing this thing was going to do was grow your portfolio just exponentially, and it's never going to retrace, it's never going to come back, it's not real life, right? It's not real life. Ultimately, we have an asset that is a risk-on asset, which we're going to talk about here in just a second as I pull up a few of these articles. We have a risk-on asset that is heavily manipulated in many different ways, depending on what sector of the crypto space you're in. But the political space the things that happen with our interest rates, the things that happen with these big companies that are buying in and out of and trying to be a part of and to capitalize on the space, all of that is huge for what the crypto space does. Obviously, at the back in 2017, let me explain something to you. Back in 2017, when we went in on effectively on when we went over and started playing with futures in Bitcoin and in the crypto space, it was the best and the worst thing ever, because it allowed people to start doing the thing that leverage trading, that futures trading does, and that's manipulate markets. So beautiful thing, because the average person can get in, make money, take money, do their thing. But that same average person is just as likely to get slaughtered unless they're more than average, right? And so ultimately what I'm saying is great for money coming into the crypto space, great for the growth of crypto, but bad for the fact that it makes it easier to manipulate. Think about if you on a daily basis could be holding $100 in your pocket, but you walked around as if you had 10 grand. Think about it, right? You walk around with 100 in your pocket, but you're allowed to command the world around you as if you had 10 grand in your pocket. That's what we can do with leverage trading, right? And so with the institutions that have massive amounts of money are able to take $100 million and, put a 10x on it. They've got $1 billion play. Of course, that's going to mess with markets. So they do have the ability to, if you've ever noticed, right, the liquidations that happen, if you have leverage traded at all, you've probably seen points at which that are very, very specific, where all of a sudden massive amounts of money gets liquidated. Massive amounts of money gets liquidated, right? Do you not think that the market makers know where those points are? I'm going to tell you right now, they do. Right? So it can be heavily advantageous for these market makers, and these exchanges make so much freaking money off of this that they will push price towards those liquidations. It's just a fact, right? We can fight back, right? Now, Tim, I know the institutions are 100xing a $100 million position. But what I'm trying to say is they have the ability to play with so much money that the little guy just has to play on their court effectively, right? So they chase those numbers. Then think about it. I have how many people on the stream? We've got, trading wars on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, whatever, where the best traders come on and live trade, right? These people all do their trading analysis a lot. A lot of them do it very differently, but come up with the same numbers. And if trading is a self-fulfilling prophecy, don't you think the institutions have the same prophecy to fulfill? Except for they're like, the market makers and the institutions are like, oh, okay, here's a really key level. People are looking for this level for an entry or an exit. And they effectively counter trade to push that price around, right? It doesn't mean don't trade. It means you better be ready, because you need to be very, very skilled to do well in these markets. So all I'm getting at here is that the opportunity is there. It brings more money into crypto. It's overall bullish for the space. But what you need to understand is that it's also easier for them to manipulate, right? That's it. Period. End. Stop. It literally comes down to that. And are you too damn greedy, right? Are you too greedy? Because that's the other really important part. And that's the really important part in meme coins as well, right? People are looking for just always this 100x, this 1000x, this whatever. When I got to tell you, when I got successful at trading, when I started to be willing to do a little bit larger position and take 3, 4, 5, 7, 10% wins. Let that resonate a little bit. I got better at trading and started actually making money when I would trade at being willing to take 3, 4, 5, 7, 10% wins. And then once in a while, you get a banger. But I also wasn't willing to lose more than 3, 4, 5, 7, 10%. And so, yeah, will you get stopped out sometimes? Yes, but you're not getting liquidated. Will you ultimately just flat out miss a trade and get beat? Yes. But if you were positioned correctly, you're only losing a very small amount as that happens, right? The problem comes in with greed when you come in and say, okay, I got $10,000 in this account and I know Bitcoin's going up and to the right. I'm going to go ahead and do a 40x on this trade. And you know what? I don't like stops. I don't want the institutions to know where I'm thinking and where I'm headed. So I'm not going to do a stop. You go to the kitchen, you make yourself a sandwich. You sit down on the couch and you start watching a good show. And during said show, you fall asleep. And you wake up the next morning, right? And you walk over to the computer. And then you absolutely feel the knife just plummet into your stomach because you got liquidated, right? Greed. So just saying, right? Tim says risk reward and stop loss is key to survive. It is. Listen, there's a lot of people that don't play with stops. And I know as a general rule, I'll give you an example, and he's one of the best, CryptoFace. But do not compare yourself to CryptoFace. He is an anomaly. That is my homie. We are close. We talk a lot. That's my dude. He is not the average person. He is the exception to the rule. He also, probably everybody on the stream doesn't have the financial wherewithal that he has to take the losses that he has. So that's where you need to set up and position yourself understanding, what do I need to or want to be able to gain? But more importantly, what am I willing to lose? What am I willing to lose? You've got to do what French Toaster says right here. You got to smack. Yeah, smack them, stack them, smack them, whatever, right? Those small wins so that you don't have the Bybit sweats, right? The Bybit sweats. And if you don't know what the Bybit sweats are, well, then you haven't been trading long enough because you put yourself in a really hefty trade with a lot of leverage. And yeah, it gets a little sweaty. You know what I mean? So Crypto Boy said, or you enter a trade and the power goes out. Dude, it could be anything like that, right? It literally could be something that simple and you don't have access to get back into the trade. And just coincidentally, the market moves against you while said, power outage happens. Period. Abel, what are you asking here? You said, yes, I want profit, but I just don't know how the exchanges handle delistings. Do they give you USDC or USD? What do you mean? You're saying when you're trading an asset that they delist, like when they took down XRP, is that what you're asking? Just clarify what you're saying. I'm just trying to understand what it is you're asking. All right, let's get into it, right? First of all, thank you to Validity as always. I've been showing my Validity wallet. If you guys are just letting your ETH sit around, obviously it's down right now, right? Because nope, I meant to zoom in over here. I was on the wrong screen. I meant to zoom in here. Obviously, we're down right now because ETH is down and is backed by ETH. But if you're just letting your ETH sit there and do nothing for you, fix that. Look at this, $6,189 worth of Validity. I've got $1,724 worth of yield that I have not pulled that I could pull right now. And then the amount that I've put in, I have put in 1,418, 510, 893, and then I think there was $2,000 more. So 335, 45, I don't know, 4, actually no, it's 1,500. So like $4,500. I've got 6,100 worth of Validity. And I've been able to pull, look, I could pull 1,724. I did pull 692. That's basically 1,500, 1,750, 2,250. I've been able to pull $2,250 off of effectively $4,000 that I put in, and yet still have a 6,190.89 value of Validity. That is hashtag winning. Winning. So shout out to Validity. All right, so Tonald crew, let's check it out. Where we at? Let me zoom out a little bit here. We're at $5.322 million market cap. And as we, when in doubt, zoom out. Let me go up to the daily. Let me just show you guys this. Listen. I mean, look at this thing on a daily chart, right? I mean, we had little moves, and we just consolidating. And then this happened and boom, we took off. These two red candles are literally the back end of 3 people selling, right? Three people. That I mean, obviously there was more action happening there, but I'm just saying 3 people on Tonald absolutely just blasted this thing. But I want to be really clear. That's where the opportunity comes from. Those douches are out. Now, all of the big holders in that we can see, because we've been hunting, we've been looking at wallets, are all the team. And the team ain't even talking about, not even kind of talking about selling freaking anything. Guess what? I bought twice yesterday. Again. So not financial advice. It is a meme coin. Always trade at your own risk. Always get into this stuff, understanding, hey, I'm willing to lose this here because anything could happen. But what I'm telling you is it's a solid team. The team holds the large bags now, and the team sees this thing going a long way, and we're working hard to do it. Crypto Chef's got the idea. Crypto Chef. Again, I want to ask in the chat, drop a 1 if you're part of the Donald fam. If you're not, go to tonald.vip, scroll down halfway down the stream or down the screen, and you'll see a 3-step process to be able to get in, right? What are you talking about here, Bryson? Keeper sold out with girly sunglasses and fancy haircut. This is purely for subs and supplemental income. Hold on a second, bro. I've always taken good care of myself. Always taken good care of my beard and my hair. I've always done that. The sunglasses, I just really like them. I started sporting them. I wouldn't say it's for subs. If it's for subs, bro, I'm failing miserably. So Bryson, nothing but love, bro. But if that was my game plan, right? I'm failing miserably, right? Because I have not been getting, very many subs recently. It's been a little bit, bit risky there, or it's been not risky. It's been a little bit kind of iffy there. Is what I meant to say. So that's what Donald's looking like. Just reminding you guys always, just be cautious. I always tell you, with these meme coins that you're hearing from myself, other people, whatever. But even though I'm on the team, you are gambling, right? Because we can only control so much. You are gambling. However, the risk reward is where you got to figure out what makes sense for you. Period. You know what I mean? Oh, Enrique. I'm gonna pull it up anyway. Right? You want to bust balls on the stream? Guess who's got the microphone, bro? All right, just kidding. I have nothing to throw back at you. So the metrosexual pipeline is real. And I guess Keeper's, on the pipeline. I don't know. But I'm just saying. Haters. That's all it is. Haters. It's okay. I'll deal with it. I'll work through that tonight when I kind of do my prayers and meditations this evening. I'll work through the fact that you hurt my feelings. All right, let's keep it rocking here. Let's see what's going on and why things are happening. First of all, you need to have an understanding of these spot ETFs because people don't fundamentally have an understanding of what they even are and why they're different. So they were the most successful ETF launch in history. Okay, fantastic. Boom. But most people don't understand, it was challenged prior approval. Okay, boom, boom, boom. But most people don't truly understand how these work. So let me talk about this real quick, and then we're going to get into some of the political stuff, right? Because Bitcoin is a new asset class, it can be argued that Bitcoin ETFs constitute a new type of exchange-traded product. While the average ETF provides exposure to a basket of securities, these ETFs are backed by spot Bitcoin, a commodity. For this reason, and I love hearing that, a commodity. For this reason, the closest analogy we have in finance would be gold ETFs. A gold ETF also provides the security that investors can buy to gain access to a single desirable commodity in their portfolio. But owning gold comes with complications. Storing it or moving it can be risky and expensive. Holding an ETF in a brokerage account can be preferable for some investors. Similarly, buying and holding Bitcoin can be cumbersome for less technical investors, leading them to opt for shares of an ETF instead. Let me pause there real quick for you guys, right? That is part of the game here. Part of the game here, right? Part of the game here is the fact that there's going to be a lot of people that are not prepared to do self-custody, and there's going to be people that are too lazy to truly try to understand the crypto space, that have been in TradFi, traditional finance, that want exposure to Bitcoin. They want exposure, but they don't want to be the ones responsible. You know how a lot of us probably hold hardware wallets, or at least I hope you guys do. And you are responsible for your keys. You are responsible for your wallet. That is all on you. A lot of people in traditional finance, that's not anything that they've ever done, right? And they're not going to spend the time. A lot of people, this is part of it. They're not going to spend the time to even do something simple like reading the Bitcoin standard, because if they did, I think they would take a little bit different route. So they stay in TradFi, and it gives them the opportunity to do what they've always done, but get exposure to Bitcoin, which is really important, right? Spot ETFs enable the creation of redemption of fund shares in response to changing market conditions. This provides exposure to the price of Bitcoin, right? Like I was just saying, without holding the asset. ETF issuers purchase Bitcoin that is then held in a secure wallet by a trusted custodian. Now, you do have to trust that custodian, right? That's really important. That's some of the things that you and I, the beauty of having our own keys, what we don't want to mess with. But the people in TradFi will continue to do so. Most, if not all, the funds are held in what's known as cold storage, meaning they're stored offline where hackers cannot access them. After that, the ETF issues shares that correspond to those coins. The shares are priced in a way that reflects the current spot price of Bitcoin. At times, the ETF's price may differ from the underlying asset's current value. When this happens, the fund must rebalance its outstanding shares against the assets it holds. To achieve this, large blocks of shares can be created or redeemed by authorized participants or APs in order to align the share price of the fund with the value of the underlying asset. APs are generally big banks that take advantage of the arbitrage opportunity presented by the price of an ETF being greater or lower than the value of an underlying asset. There's always an opportunity at play. And when traditional finance finds that opportunity, they zone in on it. So first thing I want to touch here, these ETFs give traditional finance access to Bitcoin. They give them access to be able to make money that they otherwise would not make. So from that side, they love it. They love it. The secondary part of this, right, that's a problem for them is if too many people, right, decide to go on their own and actually cold store, custody, really dive head and hands into the crypto space. Let's be fair. Probably everybody that watches this stream, if you had an asset of some sort, I'm not even talking about, I'm saying like, okay, hey bro, I need to buy some Powerade, and I hit one of you up on the stream. I wish I was sponsored, by the way, by Powerade, but I'm not. And I needed to hit one of you up to buy, some Powerade or whatever. I could pay you in crypto and you guys would probably be fine with it. Right. And so if enough people move towards that, now we're backing away from the dollar, which is that standard, because as I always tell you, value is what two or more people agree upon. If the value is coffee, then we can trade coffee. If the value is Bitcoin, then we can trade Bitcoin. If the value is other crypto assets, then we can trade other crypto assets. But guess what? The banks don't control that. So the banks love this because they can get in and get a piece of the action to then make fiat off of it. That's what they love. But they hate the fact that there are people that are able to effectively withdraw from. I talked to some people at Consensus that said, I don't use the centralized banking system hardly at all. I'm like, all crypto. Well, that is a threat, right? That is a threat to the traditional finance system. That is why the political side of this pushes and has been pushing very hard against this, because it's a balance, right? What you need to understand is they look at it on one hand as, wow, this is really important. We're not going to stop this train, so we need to use it as a talking point. But we can't let it go too, and also we don't want to stifle innovation, because that's what they were doing for a long time. And they saw, oh my gosh, like we said for a long time, you're pushing money outside the United States. You're taking money that otherwise could be made within the United States that y'all tax the hell out of and sending it elsewhere. That doesn't make sense. So there's that as well, because all they're going to look at is how can we take advantage of this. But the other side of that, again, is people saying, hey, I've got a way to transact and I don't need y'all. I don't need the middleman. And that's scary for them. That's scary for them. So the ETF is kind of the answer there. It allows them to play in the market and make money, but it also allows them to control a lot of what's happening in the markets as well. Right? So, Patriot K-Man said, funny how the hedge funds are shorting Bitcoin. Not sure they really know how Bitcoin moves. We'll see, bro. We'll see. Right? A lot of people would say that they're crazy for shorting, but they also have a lot of information that we don't have. Some of these heat maps that you will see that show, hot liquidation points and whatnot, some of those are absolutely manipulated. I've heard about a lot of the spoofing that some of these people, these big money players, will do to show orders that otherwise they pull after pushing people towards, and not basically they're playing games with each other. You can't do that in the stock market. You can do that in crypto. So there's things that are at play here that maybe you and I don't see, or maybe we're not privy to, the information that we're not privy to. But the reality is that this is traditional finance's response to something that you can't, that they couldn't fully control. They're like, we got to get a piece of the action, but keep it in a traditional finance way. We can't miss the boat here, although we kind of already, did on the front end. We got to keep it pressing forward in our own traditional way. Right? So They're you know, and they're going to manipulate it as well as per, you know, it's always going to be like that. So that's the first time, right? Or that's the first thing, right? And the second thing that I want to point out, right, is that we are at a 19-day inflow streak that Bitcoin just broke as the outflows hit $65 million. The GBTC has seen net outflows of over $113 million over the past 3 days as Bitcoin dropped to 67K, right? But have you noticed how steady it's been? If you were not around in the past for crypto years ago, I mean, it was a lot more volatile than it has been. And I think the lack of crazy volatility recently, until they make a coordinated effort to do so, has been traditional finance getting people into the crypto space via their ETFs for people that otherwise don't understand the markets, and they can't let it get too crazy because then it's going to scare new business out. Because they're like, wait a minute, you put my money in here and then it just absolutely plummeted. I'm out, right? Says U.S. spot Bitcoin ETF saw net outflows of $65 million on June 10th, bringing an end to a 19-day streak of inflows. Per data from Farside Investors, let me get this stupid thing off here. The last day to see net outflows across U.S. spot Bitcoin ETFs was May 10th, when investors pulled out $84.7 million of the investment product. Grayscale's GBTC ETF saw net outflows of $40 million. There's now outflows of exceeding $113 million across 3 consecutive days, right? BlackRock's ETF also saw a sharp decline, with inflows dropping to mere 6.3 million on June 10th versus 168.3 million on June 7th, the previous day of trading. Now, the question becomes, do they know something that we don't know? This is where I talk about manipulation and understanding these markets and not really know what's going on. Do they have information that we don't have? Or are they trying to get the fear and greed index to where everybody is in a whole lot of fear, press these prices down? They've got some big buys that they're cocked and ready for, that they're going to purchase, and then send that thing back up. Because think about if you had the ability to move these markets, what you could do with that, right? It's like it's with the meme coin space. You know, a lot of the projects have the ability with a smaller amount of money to be able to move things around, and there's a lot of money to be had. Now look at that on a massive scale, like Bitcoin and the institutional money that's there. They're doing the same thing. They're doing the same thing, right? They're going to manipulate and play, right, as much as humanly possible, right? So Wick says, I don't know if I'd reduce my exposure in the next year and a half. Just supply issues in the next year and a half or so. Hold your umbrella as tight as Mary Poppins. See if you get liftoff. Dude, we're going for liftoff. Now, the timing surrounding that liftoff is the real question, is the real question for me. So let's talk about, we talked about manipulations, how they happen, why they happen. Well, let me tell you a big one, right? Interest rates. Fed should cut interest rate as restrictive stance adds to inflation, Democrats say. Elevated interest rates aimed at taming inflation have been a part of the problem, 3 Democrat senators said. Now is the time to cut rates. 3 Democrat senators said in a letter to the Fed on Monday, the Fed should move away from its 2% inflation target, the letter added. The Federal Reserve has kept interest rates. Let me get rid of this stupid thing. There we go. The Federal Reserve has kept the interest rates too high for too long, and it's time for a cut. 3 Democrat senators said Monday in a letter to the central bank's chairman, Jerome Powell. We write today to urge the Federal Reserve to cut the federal funds rate from its current 2-decade high of 5.5%. This sustained period of high interest rate is already slowing the economy and is failing to address the remaining key drivers of inflation. Senators Elizabeth Warren, God, she's just awful usually, but whatever, Jackie Rosen, and John Hickenlooper, what a last name, wrote, according to a document on the HuffPost website. In response to the surprisingly resilient labor market, financial markets pushed out expectations for a first 25 basis point interest rate cut to September from July. The hawkish repricing has stalled a rally in Bitcoin. Okay, so listen. People are talking about July. Then they said, you know what? Hey, labor market is strong. We're going to push this thing farther, right? But the reality is this is part of the game. This is part of the game. And the game is the manipulation of money that they can print at will and then play with interest rates. But what you need to understand is the why here. When interest rates get cut, things get easier to purchase, credit gets easier to access, People have more, opportunity, disposable income, and they'll move towards risk. That's just how this works. When interest rates are high the way that they are, so think about this. As high of interest as interest rates have been and as much chaos has been going on, think about how resilient Bitcoin has been. Even if we got a drop down to 52K or 50K or whatever, think about how resilient in effectively a terrible society right now in terms of what we have going on geopolitically with our money. Just it's ugly, right? But Bitcoin has stood the test. And I think that it's going to continue to. So the real question becomes, are we going to press through to a point where interest rates are going to help, the reduction of interest rates are going to help, right? Because that's always going to be the case. You reduce interest rates, add money to, to the money supply, or just make credit easier to access, people are going to move towards risk. That's just how it works. That just makes sense. Okay. 1 + 1 = 2. But will we be able to get to the point to where Bitcoin has its own intrinsic value so ingrained in our society that we are going to be able to say, to heck with your interest rates, to heck with your money supply. We know what we have and where we're headed, and we're going to press through no matter what. Now, the institutions don't think like that, but we, the people, do. And if we, the people, are able to get this thing to a large enough, good enough position, and what's happening politically is it has to be a talking point, right? It has to be a talk. They have to now talk about crypto. They have money that needs to be made in the United States from the crypto space. They know that they cannot shut it down. And now it needs to become a political talking point because they have a lot of people that are tired of what's happening with our money. They're tired of what's happening with our money, and I'm one of them. And so people are shifting gears. So they have to pivot. As they pivot, and Bitcoin plays a more pivotal role in our society, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, just blockchain in general, right? As it plays a more pivotal role in our society, when do we position ourselves to a place where, hey, yeah, it helps when interest rates lower and this, that, and the third, but ultimately Bitcoin does what Bitcoin does because Bitcoin does it and isn't going to be manipulated by where and what the Fed is doing. Right? I don't know. Enrique, what are you talking about? I don't know. Keeper, will a Band-Aid help a man whose arm was torn? You're asking me, will a Band-Aid help a man? It's like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound, right? No, it doesn't. But that's what I'm trying to get at, right? They can play and manipulate as much as they want, but at some point, we need to be able to break away from that and press forward with what Bitcoin is. And I'm really looking forward to that being a reality, right? So speaking of that, check this out. We've got a Senate bill that could open crypto to U.S. sanctions, but the industry trying to head it off. The industry says a surprise section in a recent spending bill could slam crypto with sanction threats, but a key Senate office is now meeting with digital assets sector insiders. A provision in the recent spending package, from the Senate's Intelligence Committee targets crypto ties to terrorism and caught many of the industry off guard, criticizing it's a flawed approach to a worthy goal. The staff of panel's chairman, Senator Mark Warner, has been meeting with people in the digital assets industry to talk about the provision, sources say. Crypto insiders predict the effort isn't likely to survive the budget process. A piece of legislation with heavy implications for the digital assets sector made it through the Senate Select Committee on the intelligence funding package recently without most in the industry. And many Congress apparently aware of it, but industry insiders consider its chances for survival to be limited. The Senate bill meant to fund U.S. intelligence operations included a section borrowed from an earlier bill aimed at preventing the use of cryptocurrency to support terrorism. That provision, as written, could require a massive shift in the crypto industry toward identifying users' identities to prevent sanctions that could strangle digital assets businesses. Were it to become law, it would mark the most important U.S. crypto policy yet adopted, and all without significant debate about its merits. Guys, here's the reality, right? We are at war right now with our money. And whether you agree with it, no matter how you stand on this, each and every one of us on a daily basis, unless you are purely living off the land, and if you are, you're not watching this show, unless you are purely living off the land, 100% off grid, you are trading your time for dollars. You are trading your time for money. Let's put it that way, right? Because I get paid in crypto quite a bit. You are trading your time, your most valuable asset on planet Earth, for a piece of paper that can be printed at will by a government we don't trust. Right? So if the same government that we don't trust that can print money, if they are to introduce legislation that also says, hey, you know, all of the other crappy things we're doing, also, we're going to take away the last little bit of privacy that you thought you might have had. That you thought you might have had. Thought you might have had, right? Thought. Doesn't mean that you do. So this is where we're going to get pushback because the big businesses in the industry, and I'm going to talk about one in just a second, Robinhood, right? That is saying, hey, listen, you know what? I'm betting against that. You can't take away, you can't manipulate our money and take everything. We're not a communist nation. You can only control so much. And I'm hoping that our people and the people that are representing us in the Senate, et cetera, are willing to stand up and say that. Speak the truth. Listen, here's the line, and we're not going past it. We keep moving this line. We've been moving it with all sorts of different things that I would get in trouble for talking about here on YouTube. But money, we cannot give that line up. Enough is enough. It costs too much money to do everything right now, and the government created it. And they're making more profits than ever. So these big businesses that are moving into the crypto space, aka BlackRock, can't afford to let the government put every single person that they're making money off of, or the people that are like heavily into crypto, be nervous about whether they have any sort of privacy anymore. Period. End stop. And so it's the big businesses that are going to drive this push away from a bill that would do something negative to negatively impact the crypto space. That's what's happening. And so some of these large institutions, some of these large players are saying, yeah, no, I'm betting totally against that. One of them, which I think is a trash platform, but I'm going to talk about it anyway, is Robinhood, right? This is how Robinhood's $200 million Bitstamp deal is a bet against the SEC's crypto crackdown, right? Let me zoom in on this. There we go. Robinhood says its $200 million purchase of Bitstamp is a part of a plan to broaden its crypto business to institutional investors. Experts say it's more than that. It's also taking a strong stance against the U.S. SEC. It's an indication that the industry feels that the political winds are shifting in Washington. Let me say that again. It's an indication that the industry feels that the political winds are shifting in Washington. Sean Tuffy, a former regulation banker with Citigroup, told DL News, firms are increasingly confident that the SEC's anti-crypto campaign is running out of steam and are willing to continue to expand its offerings. Guys, this is big. Robinhood bought Bitstamp just weeks after the online broker disclosed that the SEC had recommended proceeding with an enforcement action against the company over its crypto business. Instead of balking at the SEC notice, Robinhood is committing even more resources to crypto, suggesting that the SEC is losing some of its influence over the industry. The move comes after Gary Gensler suffers a defeat after defeat in the legal battle against crypto players. Where they once shook in fear, executives now shrug. Many crypto companies view the SEC as a profoundly evil at this point, and not only don't take them seriously, but see them as an active obstacle to protecting their customers. Austin Campbell, professor at Columbia Business School and founder of Zero Knowledge Consulting, told DL News, Robinhood will now attempt a tried and true industry strategy, turning to the courts for clarity. People are waking up. People are waking up and understanding the game that's being played here. And the SEC is the puppet, or has been the puppet to try to protect the almighty dollar against cryptocurrency, the wild, wild west of money. That's all this is. That's all this is, right? And so we're at a point now where these companies are saying, listen, you've been losing some of these battles. We feel like you are way in the wrong. People have woke up to the fact that you yourselves are not protecting people. You're just putting them in a bad position and making it harder for them to be able to make money and support themselves when life is already terrible. Life is already as hard as it is at this point anyway, at this juncture anyway. No, we're going to press forward because you can't be the bully on the playground all the time. Sometimes the bully gets knocked out. Sometimes the bully gets knocked out, and that's what needs to happen here. And the SEC has been acting as the bully and trying to do anything and everything they can to stifle what's happening in the crypto space. And that bully is getting knocked out. It is taking punches. We now have the Ethereum ETF coming out. We've already got the Bitcoin ETF. This is happening. This is happening, and the bully is backing up into the corner a little bit and saying, oh boy. And when they get backed up, it's like, what do I do? I've not been in this position before. Well, strap in tight, SEC, because pretty soon we're going to have probably our own entity that's overseeing what's happening in the crypto space, whether it is the CFTC, whether it's an actual like a corporation of some sort, whether it's a DAO. I don't know what it's going to be, but crypto is going to be regulated by someone other than the SEC, and it needs to be someone that is ultimately not trying to fight crypto, but ultimately trying to do the good of the people through crypto. The good of the people through crypto. Utilize blockchain, utilize the crypto space, utilize the good things that come from the opportunity that is blockchain, the opportunity that is crypto, and give that to the people. Don't try to stifle and steal money and try to just put a stop sign at every single corner as crypto tries to innovate. You're killing businesses. You're killing individual investors, the same people that you're swearing to protect. That's it. That's it. And like Patriot Caveman said, the only power the central bank has is to inflate to oblivion. Now we have the opportunity to utilize, hey, the ball's in our court. This is what Bitcoin is. This is what having a decentralized system looks like, where people are able to transact without the middleman, where people are able to make moves without authorization from mommy and daddy down the street at the bank. They're crushing people, and they're putting themselves, ultimately, it's like biting off their nose to spite their face. They're putting themselves in a bad position because there is repercussions on the tail end, right? Ultimately, Patriot Caveman said they're killing their taxpayer. Well, they're also killing these businesses that otherwise would be paying large amounts of taxes that are going overseas. So now that we have the SEC on its heels, and Robinhood is saying, hey, listen, I'm doubling down. We will go head to head with you, just like XRP, just like, Library, like just basically there's a lot of people that are hip to the fact that this ain't right. You're not going to continue to push us around, and we're going to knock you, the bully, out. Period. Right? Period. The government says we are in $34 trillion of debt because they want us to believe they actually plan on paying it back. And that's the truth. They never intend on paying it back. You're correct. They've put us in a terrible situation, and then try to manipulate our money and try to lie to you about numbers, about how and where we're going to get to this fictitious place. Don't call it debt, because it ain't debt if you ain't paying it back. So, Crypto fam, smash the likes if you have not already. Make sure you put on the bell notifications. Listen, Trading Wars is going to start within the next 2 weeks. I need you to message me if you want in. If you are somebody watching this show that is not an influencer, I need a message. Look at my Telegram group that's underneath my DGen group. Jump in there if you want and message me there. Or send me a message on X, or send me a message somewhere. I'm getting, it's been a little bit of a process, but I'm getting the list of people who did well in the competition, but I need some extra numbers. I need some more people for that. So if you like trading, if you even consider yourself a novice trader, but have fun with it and would like to be on camera and come on the show once a week and see how you can do against other people, it's going to be a wild show. We're going to be doing $10,000 in each person's account, not one. So the stakes are going to be so much higher. The numbers are going to look so much different. I don't think I was supposed to announce that yet. Whoops. Open mouth, insert foot. But the reality is, big things coming for this next season. CryptoFace being the gulag monster. We have got a hugely bullish season coming your way of Trading Wars. So that's coming up in the next couple weeks. Super excited about it. Crypto fam, I love each and every one of you for real. I say that, I mean it. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here as always. Make sure if you guys are dropping super chats or whatever, or if you guys do drop super chats, I'm still doing the I'm still obviously at Flipper Hodl. Flipper Hodl, the next one is going to be next Friday. We've got a gaming company and a big name in gaming coming on. So there's $5,925 on the line. So I'll remind you guys as we press forward with the streams. I'll remind you guys tomorrow, the rest of the week. Let's get the wheel filled up. I think right now the only person I have on there is Caffeinated Crypto. Yeah, Caffeinated Crypto's got his name on there like 50 times or something. So if you guys want to have your name on the wheel and have your piece of the action, right? Piece of the action, make sure that you guys toss in those super chats, gift memberships, become a member, do all your things. I love you guys. Question everything, trust nothing. And until next time, hodl like it's hot. I will see you soon. Tunnel to the moon.